Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. One thing that I usually start my readings, I've read in China, I've read in Argentina, different places around the world. And I always have to explain that when I speak, I have not had a stroke. So when you hear me say this and that, it just means that I'm Cajun. But when you hear in Crowley, I don't have to explain what this and that are, you know. Thank you again for coming to my reading of The Drawn Cat's Dream. The Drawn Cat's Dream is a contemplation of everything that I've lived from the time that I grew up on a farm in Acadiana, Louisiana to adulthood. And I hope you enjoy the book. Today I'm going to read 8 poems from it and explain a little bit about each poem before I go through it. So the first poem in the book is about my father. My father was a farmer and a carpenter, and we had 6 children in our family. It soon became evident that he wouldn't be able to support that many children without working. So he became a construction foreman and had to spend a lot of time away from home during the years that a boy needs a father. Well, fortunately, I had my brothers and my brother-in-law to step in to help me become a young man. And of course, I had a great mother and great sisters as well. But it made a difference in the relationship I had with my father, who became somebody who came home on the weekends, and we did all the things on the farm, working the truck patch, work the cattle, doing all those things that we couldn't do while he was gone. So this one's called Hard and Tender Fields. Beneath a frost crown, the fields, rich in rice stubble, sleep through winter dawning. My sweat and that of my father is frozen in the sod, fragments of us too heavy to be lifted in evaporation's rapture. This hard school where I learned the farmer's laborious lot, taught the tender yielding of spring, the new calves bellow, watermelon treasures, autumn's harvest reward. Father is buried here among the sleeping grasses and walks in early morning vapor, shovel over shoulder, hat pushed to one side, singing the song of the little green frog who lost his tail while jumping a candle. I smell his lit cigarette and hear the snap of his Zippo lighter. The fragrance and sound fade into the waking horizon. I must leave also, return to the life I've left waiting in a city where sunrises go unnoticed, where dead fathers are more difficult to hear. My mother is the reason I'm a poet. She managed a farm and resources and did magnificent things way beyond what anyone should be challenged to do. She was diagnosed with a debilitating disease that retracted her body into a question mark. Her feet and hands molded into clubs. She was in almost constant pain. The poem I've selected to share is titled Vigil. Mother's hospital bed was moved to the living room, curtains sashed open so she could see her great-grandchildren playing in the yard. I sat and held her arthritic hand, waiting to apply the next dose of morphine. Beyond the yard, a cow pasture stretched to a line of holly trees, not yet blushed with bloodberries. Sunlight laced into cloud shadow, moving as slowly as the grazing cattle. I read her favorite passages from the Bible and an Elizabeth Barrett Browning poem from a Valentine's Day card Father gave her many years ago. She slipped into sleep, a welcomed respite just before sunset. I rose from my station and studied her face, the face that hovered above mine in my many sick days, the nose that crinkled as we sat in the church pew, the lips that sang hymns as we toiled in summer's heat, canning figs, the lips that kissed my cheeks for each of my broken hearts. I lowered my face to hers, kissed her forehead, and whispered, "How do I love thee? How do I love thee?" Living on a farm, our neighbors' homes are miles away. So your brothers and sisters become your best friends. My younger brother and I were very close. I apologize. We spent our summers together. We played on the farm and spent a lot of time fishing in the creek that ran in front of our home. As my brother and I grew up, we started believing in different things, but we never lost the capability to continue to love each other. This poem is dedicated to my brother Timothy. It's the title poem of the book, The Drawn Cat's Dream. There's a pencil drawing of my boyhood home on the wall above my writing desk, drawn by a hometown artist who saw fit to place a tiny cat sleeping beneath the grandfather oak in the front yard. There's an expression on the feline face of complete abandon, of being lost in a forgotten summer where a prequel version of me played with a younger brother, now past the veil over a year. I wonder if the cat has dreamed the boys into existence again, ever sees the brothers fishing in the nearby creek, engulfed in the casual conversation of preteen boys, their greatest decision, what flavor popsicle to select when mother calls them home. They did not know death then, with its many hollow darkness, but night never falls on the house in the drawing. Somewhere, perhaps on the other side of the sleeping cat's tree, my brother digs for night crawlers. And I'm not going to do this next poem because it's too sexy. So there's a sexy poem in here, but you'll have to read the book to find it. When I was a young man living in Lake Charles, Louisiana, a doctor told me it was very unlikely I'd ever have children. I come from a large family with brothers and sisters who had children, so it was quite a blow to me to hear that. I went through a lot of relationships, was engaged several times, but when it came time to actually get married, decisions were made based upon my inability to have children. My beloved Gloria married me knowing this. He said, "We'd adopt." But a few months after we were married, she was pregnant. And since then, we've welcomed 2 daughters to our family, Amber and Heather. The next poem is dedicated to them, and it's simply titled, Children. From the beach house porch, I watched them practice life. They dash into the surf and retreat quickly to dry stand. Looking up to confirm I see them, I hear, "Watch me, Daddy." Then the book in my lap snags my momentary focus. These tiny beings are miracles I was told I'd never enjoy, so it's difficult to not feel a certain grace surround me. Existence is like that, taking with one hand and giving with the other, just as the undecided ocean takes my children within her, then returns them to me. I've been lucky enough to have rotten health. And the reason I say that is that challenges with health help us gain something so much more spiritually. In a surgery I had in the mid-90s, my wife was constantly by my side. This poem is dedicated to her, and it's called The 3-Word Prescription. It was awarded an honor by the Poetry Society of Texas. In recovery, it is your face I see when I open my eyes. From the drug cocktail-induced doze, I hear the heart monitor report in muffled roadrunner deep beats and see your lips move, but can't make out what you're saying. Slowly, as the internal works of my body kick in, I hear you better. The first words aren't, "The surgery went well," nor, "The doctors say you'll be okay." No, what you say is what has kept my newly rewired heart beating for years. It's exactly what I need to hear now. My final poem is a distillation of everything I've experienced in my life. It's a quite different poem, so please forgive me for moving into something that's a bit esoteric. But no matter how old we get, I think all of us have a sense of we're not finished yet, we're not complete yet. There's still something else we need to do. And through the painful lessons of this life, through the joyous lessons of this life, we become something new each day. This poem is dedicated to all of you for being here today. It's simply titled, Planting Season. We, children of ancient stars, emerge from beneath the branches, our heads bowed. The woods are always watching. We ditch our armor to travel light, unhitch our hubris, and follow our once abandoned thoughts of peace past the knife's edge of our severance. The dead speak from their cold keeps to tell us death is indiscriminate, and what we deem to be life is darkness. The verb form of life is live, with no past nor future tense. From the meadow's grass, blue jays, sentient kites, explode into flight in a fit of feathers. Scarecrows, impoverished statues, scream silence as our boots reach the edge of harvested fields, where we close the circle, planting in soil made rich by sacrifice. Thank you. May life bless you all.